Lecture topic: A true friend.
A person who is not a good friend. So now the question is, what makes a person a good friend? And who do we take as a good friend of ours? There are various different ways in which this can be understood, but there can't be a better way than how this has come to us in the Quran Sharif and in the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On the one side, in the Quran Sharif, Allah Ta'ala says, Al-akhillau yawma idhim ba'duhum li ba'din aduun illa al-muttaqin. On the day of Qiyamah, there will be a lot of people who were outwardly friends in dunya, but they'll become enemies on the day of Qiyamah. Each one will be saying to Allah Ta'ala, Ya Allah, you give him punishment first. He brought me into all this nonsense. He brought me into all this sin and vice. He was talking all the various evil things and putting in my heart and mind, and made me start doing all kinds of evil. So you give him double punishment first. And that person will say, Allah, you give him first the punishment, because I didn't tell him to do the wrong. I just maybe said something. He did it of his own. Now each one will be blaming the other, and each one will be cursing the other. What kind of friendship can that be, where that friendship is going to turn about in this manner, that each one is going to be cursing the other and wanting him to get double punishment? So that friendship is just a deception, that we are friends because a person now invited me to do something which was outwardly something fun, but it was sin. The person lent me one phone, so I must be now very good with him because he's my good friend. Or somebody gave me something to smoke, so this is my good friend. That's not a friend, that's an enemy. But then the height of foolishness is that if a person regards his enemy as his friend, that a person regards his enemy as his friend, that's a height of foolishness. Because somebody who is harming one can't be his friend. So the point is that in the Quran Sharif, Allah Ta'ala is saying that this will become the end result of many friendships, so-called friendships in dunya, that each one will be cursing the other. Now this is something to stop and reflect on. That if I had to suddenly pass away right now, and somebody who I regard as my friend, if he also suddenly has to leave dunya, and we are both brought up on the day of Qiyamah, will we be blessed, making dua for each other, interceding on each other's behalf, or cursing each other? That this person dragged me into this wrong, and that person is saying he told me all this and put all these ideas in my mind, and he was talking repeatedly about all these filthy things, as a result of which my mind got corrupted. So who will be cursing who? That's something to reflect on, that who will be cursing who? Allah forbid both will be cursing each other. So can we imagine on the day of Qiyamah, if both will be cursing each other, so can that kind of relationship remain? So that relationship must stop. If we are in a position to be able to advise somebody, to guide somebody, to stop the wrong, then we must do that. And if not, we have to disassociate ourselves. We have to separate ourselves. We cannot remain in company that takes us towards sin, takes us towards vice, that talks that kind of talk, that puts dirty ideas in our minds, that corrupts our heart, that makes us think of sin and vice instead of thinking about Allah Ta'ala, instead of thinking about getting closer to Allah Ta'ala. So that is not friendship. That is not any good. That is not somebody doing us any favor. That is, they are harming us. But then that will be the height of our foolishness, that somebody who is harming us, if somebody comes and takes our money away, our belongings are there, sometimes some food, comes and just takes it away. So we don't have that kind of good feeling about this. Person starts fighting with such a person. How can you do this? You got no permission to take this away. So then the person now is fighting with the person. He doesn't want to have anything to do with him. Why? Because of material things. But now somebody is snatching away our deen, snatching away our haya, our iman, snatching away the relationship from Allah Ta'ala, and pushing us towards the fire of Jahannam. So that person is our friend. So that's a height of foolishness. So if a person doesn't take recognition of this, doesn't understand this, that this is a height of foolishness, then he reads this is an ICU situation, that the person needs ICU treatment. If a person is sick, and he's very sick, and he doesn't even realize he's sick, then they don't even ask him, they just take him and put him in the ICU, because now he is in a very advanced stage of illness. So this is the issue that we need to reflect, we need to think carefully, who is our real friend, and who will remain our friend on the day of Qiyamah also. That will be the yardstick to judge who is really our friend in dunya. Allah Ta'ala give us that.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।